Now
Hey
that's a
everybody, I'm
move.
Herden. Ah, man, you had to right right in the middle of the intro.
There's your introduction, Herden.
Hey everybody, I'm Herden. I'm here with Caboose to do the Broken Shifter podcast. We've been away for a couple of weeks due to people being sick and some technical difficulties on other people's ends and some editing difficulties as well. But we're back, and this week we will be talking about Phoenix and the upcoming. Hell, here we go. Took me less than a minute to fudge the first word. Upcoming race at Auto Club Speedway in California, which will end the tour out on the West Coast and send us back east to Martinsville. Or no, Auto Club will end us, and then we'll go to Martinsville. That's what I meant. All right. So first things first, NASCAR just brought down some penalties. Uh, Caboose, do you want to say hi first?
I. By the way, we're trying out
So
a new
we,
format for the podcast where we're actually doing a live stream of this. So if you randomly hear me go, "Oh shit, motherfucker," well, it's because I'm playing this game live.
that is a true point, which will probably make his knowledge of what happened at Phoenix invalid. Anyways, all right. So we had 3 penalties handed down this week.
Mm-hmm. Some pretty
For
heavy ones.
Harvick, yeah, so a couple of pretty stiff penalties from Phoenix. Brad Keselowski failed post-race inspection. Not sure what happened to Allmendinger, but I'm going to assume the same. And Kevin Harvick failed post-race inspection. I think it was ride height too low. Keselowski got busted with a 35-point penalty. AJ with 35, and Harvick with a 10-point penalty, but they're also losing their crew chief for a while.
Yeah. One thing to tack onto that, it was also a track bar adjuster R&D issue.
For
Both
which
on
driver?
Harvick and Keselowski.
That sounds like it could be a problem with the in-car track bar adjuster. Because they have those now, so might be where it is. So
Speaking of
35
Keselowski,
points is a lot.
it is. It put Keselowski from second in points down to like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, but he's had a real strong year so far.
Oh yeah,
35 points is a whole race worth of points.
it is.
Um,
And the fact that he's still up
AJ,
there
that's
says
going to
something.
sting. Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
sting for AJ. 10 points for Harvick. The way he's run so far, that's not going to bother him in the least. He's going to get some wins this year. But losing your crew chief, like, Harvick's got Rodney Childers, and he's just so freaking ass good. And then Keselowski's got Wolf, and he's a beast as well. But, I mean, I'm glad NASCAR's cracking down and they're not playing with the penalties. Quit fucking cheating.
Speaking of cheating, I wonder how
That's
long you can
basically
cheat
it.
this podcast with these low batteries. I just got the notification.
I don't know. We might have to take a timeout in the middle of it. So let's talk about the race itself now that we got penalties out of the way. We got the 3 segments were dominated by 3 drivers, and not a single one of them won the damn race.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Joey Logano started on the pole and pretty much dominated the entire first segment. Early start on the second segment, which we know Logano's like that, right?
Yep.
Starts on the pole, leads a lot, then fades.
Yep.
Got busted speeding on pit road. Went further towards the back eventually, and this was after he lost the lead. Chase Elliott passed him on the outside at the same time that Kyle Larson was passing him on the inside. And that's where Chase Elliott proceeded to absolutely dominate the second segment with Kyle Larson chasing him, which Kyle Larson seemed to do a lot of during this race, chasing down first place. I thought he was going to be the guy to beat. Could never really get to the lead and establish anything. He was using his car up trying to get past people, which passing seemed to be difficult. And then you come down to Kyle Busch, who,
Who I just tried
due
to
to
take out
having
minute
due to having a great pit crew, came out in front of Chase Elliott after the pit stops, and then proceeded to dominate all of segment 3. So there you are with 3 drivers that have pretty much led the whole damn race.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little itty bitty problem happens,
Just a small one.
and Joey Logano blows a tire,
Melted bead.
smacks the wall. Yep, smacks the wall hard as shit. And Caboose, what happens afterwards?
Larson, Kyle Busch, and one other driver came in for 2 tires. Majority of the pack came in for 4. 3 drivers stayed out on the old tires. It was Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Newman, and I'm blanking on the 3rd driver.
Right.
And so the restart happened, and, well, it was interesting, to say the least.
It sure was, because the only drivers out of those 3 that managed to hold on was Ryan Newman, the leader, and Ricky Stenhouse, who Stenhouse finished 4th, and Ryan Newman wound up winning his first race in about 3.5 years.
Yep.
So, I don't know if this is a resurgence for RCR, because Newman's been fairly strong this year, but not the kind of resurgence that you're seeing from Ganassi Racing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What really concerns me is what the hell's going on at Hendrick Motorsport. They're so far behind right now, it's crazy. They're never behind.
Yeah, the only driver that's actually going up there and laying down a couple laps here and there is Chase Elliott from Hendrick.
He's the only one.
Yeah,
Junior got into the top 5. Yeah, well, he owns Daytona pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're seeing some of these young guys and some of the smaller teams really get up there and do some work, which is a nice change, to be honest, especially Kyle Larson. I don't know what these other teams have done to change stuff, but JGR has struggled this year, save for Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is about the only one that's been able to get to the front, and JGR and Stuart Haas with Kevin Harvick have been dominant for a couple of years now. And Hendrick, of course, with Jimmy Johnson and stuff like that. So
one thing I seem to notice is, like, Hendrick can only get one car actually running very well for a race, and the rest of them
maybe 2.
Maybe 2 if you're lucky, and that second car is only doing decent. But the rest of the cars, they're just kind of hanging in there. That's something I noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Logano blew his tire. He hit the wall hard. Wasn't the hardest hit of the day, though. That belongs to one Matt Kenseth, who had Tide as a sponsor. Nice to see a Tide car back on the track. Ricky Rudd kind of made that one famous.
Mm-hmm.
And the hit Matt here we go with the words again. The hit Matt Kenseth took was one of the hardest hits I've seen all year.
In a cool minute.
Yeah, I'm surprised he walked away from that one without a problem.
Danica, she took a pretty hard lick, and it was at the Talladega or Daytona last year, where she went into the infield with Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth went freaking flying through the air. Before that...
Yeah, well, the ones when you go airborne and shit, those are brutal.
They're brutal,
for this
but
year
for the sake
alone,
of G's, not that bad. But Danica, she did just plow straight into the wall last year at Daytona.
Well, the spot that Kenseth hit the wall at was just a terrible spot on the track to hit the wall.
Oh, yeah.
But they do have safer barriers, and it's pretty safe. Corey LaJoie.
Go ahead.
No, you finished.
It just shows how much
safety NASCAR. Yep.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah, NASCAR's gotten really good with their safety over the past 10 years or so. Corey LaJoie, though, wrecks again. He has not gotten through one race so far.
I am scared to know how many dollars has been spent on that boy and his car.
They they are in the negative on money right now. I guarantee you.
At least the sponsor's getting shown on screen.
That's not the sponsor. That's the owner, Burger King Racing. One of the franchisees of Burger King owns the car, and that's where he's getting it. It's just like, goddamn, dude. It's like every week he's blowing a tire. I don't.
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't understand how to control his tires, and he's a young guy, and he just. I mean, he wrecked every week so far. It's absolutely unacceptable to wreck that many race cars.
I feel like it's one of three things. I have a feeling that it's either because, yes, he's a young gun and he's just not preserving his tires. Two is a chance that because the team is, well, a little underfunded,
Bad.
that that the tires that they're getting are used tires, which is not an uncommon practice. Teams buying up used tires that are just lightly used, and
Yes.
they're just getting a bad batch. It's entirely possible.
Every time.
Or it's a combination of the two.
You might be right on that last part. It might be a combination of both. We also had some anger on the track. Ryan Blaney, real pissed at Dale Jr.
Yep. And
He came clean and he was like, it was just the heat of the moment. I think he called him a douche.
yeah, he did over radioactive. I remember it. Yeah, he called Dale Jr. a douche.
I don't know what they called it because they bleeped it out, but I think he called him a douche. But Ryan Blaney does a podcast and he spoke up about that and said, I didn't mean it. He was like, me and Dale have spent time together and stuff, and he was like, now I owe Dale beer for a month every time I go to his house.
Is it a Budweiser?
It's good the drivers. I have no idea. Knowing Dale Jr. is probably Bud Light. But, yeah. And then we had one of the guys we both follow because they're gamers, Michael McDowell.
Yeah. Levine
Him
Family Racing.
and, right. And AJ. AJ just absolutely. Well, AJ was the worst. AJ would not get out of his way, and I like AJ. I love his personality, but he just wouldn't get the hell on out of the way.
Wouldn't. And what the fuck happened in front of me?
And McDowell had a decent run.
Oh yeah, he had a good car. I was doing some research, and his lap times were like 20th to 15th place by the looks of it. So he had a good car.
Yeah, for the team they're running just a single car operation. It's and they're finishing in the 20s. That's always good because you got the teams out there with like Jeffrey Earnhardt and shit like that are finishing 35th and lower every week. Let's see. What are some of the other drivers we should talk about? Let's see what we got. Obviously Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney. Kyle Larson, great race. Ran second pretty much from start to finish. Blaney, he was a factor until the end. Them two boys right there, along with consider it a one-car team. And between them two and Chase Elliott, the rookies and the young guys are there. Even Eric Jones finished 8th. Daniel Suarez, he finally got a top 10, 7th place. New generation of NASCAR starting, man. Telling you.
It's starting and I'm getting scared.
Yeah, I can hear that. Some other drivers to talk about. Jimmy Johnson made a charge through the pack. Very slowly, but he made a charge through the pack. He got a top 10, but nothing to brag about. He hasn't been a threat to win anything this year. besides Penske and a few other drivers, is you're not seeing the normal guys you're used to seeing at the front. You know, the top ten's normally the guys that have been there for the past 5-10 years. And this year you're seeing it completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. mid race, he was having a good race. He was trying to get the lead at one point. Wound up 14th. Car fell off on him. And he bitched and whined and complained the whole damn race. And I'm a Junior fan, but I know. Hear his radio. He was cussing everybody under the sun. This car's
Mm-hmm.
too goddamn loose. I said tighten it up the last 3 stops. Uh,
And that's just something that we're gonna have to see a lot of is car being loose, car being loose, car being loose because of this lower downforce baggage, which I knows who the better driver in a area is.
yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, with this lower downforce, they're trying to drop the cars lower to the ground to get that damn downforce. They're doing everything they can. And I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed one thing, I don't know if you have. The fucking down right in front of the rear tire, where the fender in front of the tire, where they used to get penalized for flaring that damn thing out to get more
Mm-hmm.
downforce, they're still doing it, and they're not penalizing them for it anymore. They go on the track like that now. I think NASCAR was just like, we can't monitor every damn car that's doing it,
I,
and it's just like, just let them all do it.
can I throw a conspiracy theory out there? Because I noticed
Sure.
a lot of it on the Chevrolets. And the Chevrolets, oh shit. The Chevrolets, a lot of them are, or by a lot of them, I mean all of them, body style wise, they're down on downforce compared to the Fords
Yes.
and Toyotas with side downforce. So I think
Correct.
NASCAR's just kind of going, just don't stick it out too much. So that way it can be an
Right.
even playing field. Because the SS body, they've been using
Yeah.
that ever since the Gen 6 came out, if I remember correctly.
The SS body is not nearly as good as the fucking Fusion or the Camry.
And the Fusion, that's been seeing minor updates here and there. And then the fucking Camry, they're changing that every freaking year, seems like.
Well, they've got TRD on board.
So, but
But other than that, it was a pretty good day for some young guys and okay day for some of the older guys. But the story of the day, Ryan Newman wins.
Mr. No Neck.
Mr. Nonek wins the race. So
So,
that brings us down to the final topic of the
well, real quick, I just
podcast,
want to
and
point
that will
something out.
be go for it.
No Neck gets a win. Long Neck hits the wall, and Captain Fat Belly actually had a professional interview for once post race.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Man Tits.
Skinny Fat Man,
That would be Kyle Busch.
indeed.
Yes, Mr. Mantitz did have a professional interview and didn't cry and complain. Uh, Maybe because he didn't get wrecked. Maybe he was just expecting to get a little poontang pie when he got home. Who knows? But
You
yeah,
wish.
he wasn't the biggest asshole on the planet like he normally is, like he was. I guess it was last week, right,
Mm-hmm.
at Vegas, and yeah, fair enough. He, I tell you what, you never know what you're gonna get with him, do you?
No, you don't. Before I
He'd
will,
be
I will admit,
fucking like a volcano.
before he had a kid, it was about
He
an
was worse
85% chance of him just blowing the fuck up.
if he didn't
After
win.
having a kid, I would say it's gone closer to about 70% chance.
Yeah.
He has calmed down,
Well,
but
he's got the best
not by
car
much.
at JGR right now. Got the best one they got.
This is interesting. I just
Anyways,
got a NASCAR update.
that is interesting. Would you like to make your auto club picks?
You know,
One guy you think will win it, and one guy that's like a secondary guy, say a Newman, that could win it.
normally I would pick Keselowski because he knows how to run that fucking track. But I'm not gonna call him the winner. I'm gonna call him as the competitive person because he is down his crew chief for 6 races. The
Okay.
winner. I'm trying to think, it would be an interesting pick to be a winner that's realistic. You know, I don't know why, but I'm kind of thinking Chase. I have a feeling about Chase. I know Auto Club is a bit of a area, not for him
All right.
specifically, but just for Hendrick in general. They're either on point at Auto Club from what I noticed, or they're completely off the ball.
Okay, so you're going with Brad K
As the possible.
and Chase Elliott is your winner.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll throw out there my possible winner being Dale Earnhardt Jr., seeing as how he has struggled lately and coming off the concussion. Um, I'll throw him out there, and he's really had a bad year so far. And as my race winner, I'm going to go out on a limb here and go with somebody who's performed well all year, and it's their home track, Kyle Larson.
I forgot Larson's from California.
He's performed well at Auto Club, so
And he's come in second place, what, 2 or 3 times so far this year?
he's not been far off from a win. I think he's going to get one this week. But anyways, that about wraps it up for us for the week. Unless you've got any final comments.
Nope, but I hope Atlanta's a good race. As much as I absolutely hate that track.
Well, we're not going to Atlanta.
Or Atlanta. Auto Club. Sorry, I'm thinking about the Atlanta race. That. Oh, man. Freaking Harvick got so fucked. I used to hate Atlanta, but I learned to like it.
All right.
Also, Harvick was
there
on
it
screen.
is.
But no, Atlanta, good track. Auto Club, fucking hate it.
Agreed. Ready.
But I
So,
hope it's a good. Hope it's a good race.
all right. Well, in closing, I'm Herden,
And I'm Caboose.
and we'll catch y'all next week.
Bye.